a D4 for every kilogram that lands upon
Let's
him.
see here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong book. Of course I did.
Here's a quick question. I
Yep.
want to use Misty Escape on this.
Yeah, but you have to take damage first. I just have to figure out how much damage it does to you.
I do, but alright, sure, yeah.
I mean,
I was gonna-
teleportation, you'll be fine to get.
I was
The
gonna...
question is whether you can see a
I've got my book now.
teleport.
No, I don't need to see it.
You don't?
No, not with Misty Step.
What?
What do you mean not
Some
with
shit.
Misty Step?
I'm
Sorry, I
pretty sure
had
with
to
Misty
look
Step you don't need to see it.
See a point.
Yeah.
that you're
I know that's not
teleporting
how it works with Dimension Doors, that you could just do it.
Yeah, but he could just teleport behind him. So.
What I'll plan on doing is actually teleporting forward into that room.
Ah, okay, sure. Where is?
Because I imagine it was what gave away was the door.
Yeah, it's basically the earth around the door is giving way, and it's just from age, right?
Yeah. So that's why I plan on teleporting past that, because if I can't, yeah.
All right. There we go. Traps. Character level. Ha! A deadly trap actually does quite a bit of damage.
Ah, thank you. Excited. Oh shit, man.
Hey, look, 10d10.
Holy
So, the advantage here is you have Dane. And it doesn't all happen at once. It's not like one rock comes down and crushes you.
Can I technically have that by, like, because if it's like a bunch of rocks,
What's the argument here?
it's technically, I use it as a reaction when I take damage.
Uh-huh.
It's technically, in a situation like this, I wouldn't take the damage all at once.
Uh-huh.
Could I technically, like, use it to teleport forward and avoid the biggest brunt? Because this isn't like I'm casting a spell where I'd have to concentrate through it. This is a literal reaction to getting hurt.
I mean, the general rule is rocks fall, you die, yes.
But there
Damn it,
is an
Megan!
argument that this is actually, say, 10 boulders all falling on top of you.
If
So,
we're talking about cubic boulder here.
Hannibal, I'll give you this. If you want to teleport into the room, you're going to take 66 damage. But it's going to be over the course of a couple of rounds.
Okay.
So, here's another thing I want you to do just because of the nature of this damage. Roll me a critical injury.
Man, we haven't had this in a while.
Perfect.
Lol.
That is exactly what I wanted. So, Hannibal,
God, that's so funny.
the first stone falls and it bends your leg backwards. And you can feel your leg just snap. And
Not
you,
yet!
you teleport in, but it's a compound fracture. And so now you're bleeding out all over the ground. So, I will say you have about a minute before you pass out.
Okay. I'm looking around. I'm trying to get everything. Because I imagine the entrance is closed up behind me.
Yeah, no, it's crushed. And you can hear Dane frantically, like, calling to you via your telepathy.
Prepare a cleric upstairs.
Yeah, and so he goes to fly away. Luckily, you did bring a party member that has healing magic. So, in your first round, what is the action you would like to take?
I'd like to look around. Detect magic is still going on. What's
Okay.
happening?
All right. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Fuck, Dane, why weren't you here? You bastard.
He's literally saving your life right now. So,
Fuck you, Dane! Fuck you!
yeah. So you're like looking around, but the pain is like blinding. Like you're just like immediately in shock.
Okay, so
Your
I have
leg is
9 more
crushed.
rounds left.
Yeah.
So,
and it's gonna take Dane 2 rounds to get back to Kree.
Okay,
at a sprint.
So, can you tell me? I have dark vision.
Mhm.
What do I see around me?
So what you see around you, you don't pick up the thing, but what you see around you is you see kind of another similarly shaped like antechamber of the like coffins and stuff, but in these slots there's nothing there. And there is a single coffin at the end of the at the backside of the room, straight away from the door. And it appears a bit more ornate as you do. And also, as your eyes you flutter through the pane, you can see that there appears to be quite a bit of we'll call it the pirate term booty in this room. You can see a couple of kind of gold inlaid chests scattered around, and some piles of dusty coins kind of scattered about. It smells very musty in here because it's been without real air for quite a while. So it's kind of got that gross half decayed but long old overdue decay. And you can see just various maybe there's a couple of small little statues around the area. And that's kind of what you can see from your position.
Okay, that ornate coffin, is it closed?
It is closed, yeah, currently.
Can I approach it because it's still around?
Yeah, absolutely. You can start making your way over there. It takes you all of the movement to get over there though, because you're half limping, half crawling.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Second action. What do you want to do?
Can I, just from a glance, how heavy is this? Is the lid to this?
It looks heavy. It looks like you'll have to make an athletics check to move it.
Fuck that, magic missile.
I mean, force damage isn't going to move it, probably. I mean, you could try and destroy it, I guess. That's a good point.
Yeah, I like to destroy the lid.
Sure, you want to try and destroy the lid. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
A magic missile with a sorcerer spell slot.
Yeah, so you have to roll a d100, right?
Yeah.
Are you hoping to heal yourself?
I am so hoping for something like that. I could die.
I think
die.
there is a heal yourself in the
There
in
is.
the
It
wild
happened
magic.
to me last time. All right, fucking doing it.
71. What is a 71?
You gain resistance to all damage for the next minute. Fuck, it couldn't happen 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that would have been nice if it would have happened outside, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So roll 1d4. 1d4 plus 1.
Yep.
6 damage to the front.
Okay, so yeah, you make some dents, but you don't actually destroy it.
Okay, fuck it. Third round.
Uh-huh. So let's see. Before you say third round, Dane gets up to Kree. And he says, Hannibal's in trouble. There's a bunch of rocks. They fell on him. I think he's hurt. Right? And the most emotion Dane has ever had, by the way. And Kree is like, oh, shit. And he jumps down and begins running off in that direction. But it's going to take him 2 rounds to get to you. Or to get to the rocks, even. So.
Okay. So at that point, I'm going,
third
fuck
round.
it. I regain Tides of Chaos, which might be useful later.
Correct.
And I'm going to Eldritch Blast this thing off.
Okay. Roll me an Eldritch Blast.
1 and 2.
Okay, there you go. You've done enough damage now. So yeah, you...
And I'm trying to angle it so that it blows it outwards.
Yeah, the chest just it kind of slides off a little bit and then just blows off into the wall. There's pieces scattered in and around it too, but most of it goes in other directions.
Okay, and what do I see in there?
So you see a skeletal corpse of an orc that is quite a bit bigger than the other orcs that you've been identifying. And he's buried in there with his weapons, and he's got this large axe. It's not magical. You have detect magic running. It's not magical.
Yeah.
But it appears very finely made. And it's obviously like a 2-handed axe. And then at his feet, there are a bunch of other skulls, and they all appear to be perhaps different races. But traditionally, orcs are buried with the heads of their enemies, right? And so that's kind of what this is. He also appears to be dressed in some, like, wooden tribal armor. It's obviously not, like, a functional armor. It looks more ceremonial than that. But you probably know enough to know that, obviously, this orc was of some importance to get this kind of treatment.
Can I make a check to see through the pain if I could identify him?
Sure,
based on the area?
Sure. Is that going to be your fourth action? Or you're going to take something else?
Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. Am I able to take the axe?
Yeah, totally.
I take the axe.
Okay.
I'll write that in my inventory.
Yeah.
Amazing axe.
Yeah. Finely crafted axe.
Yeah.
I guess
and,
technically it's a war axe. Is that the big one?
battle axe.
Battle axe.
Wait, you mean the two-handed or the one-handed?
Great axe. Sorry. Yeah. It is
Yeah.
a finely crafted great axe.
Okay, so I got that.
Mhm.
And does that take an action or?
Interact with object.
All right, so I take that fifth action.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to walk up. Is there anything special, like anything remarkable about the room?
Besides the coffin and the other stuff, I've kind of described it to you. I will allow you to make another perception check to see if you can identify any, or investigation. Since I already had you roll perception, you can roll an investigation check to try and identify anything particularly interesting in this room.
Investigation with Tides of Chaos.
Okay. Nice roll. So you maybe you stumble and you fall onto your good knee, and the pain is like shooting up your leg at this point, and you left a blood trail along the ground, right? Like just a steady stream of blood trail, and you're kind of like hazing over a little bit at this point because you're half dead basically. And so you notice that your blood trail appears to have fallen into these grooves on the floor you didn't notice before. And they all appear to be draining towards the center of the room. Your blood is running in little rivulets down towards the center of the room in these grooves. And these grooves appear to have a pattern of some sort.
Can I see what the pattern is?
Not unless you put blood in all the other grooves. It's obviously a design that kind of fills the circular room in here. So it's hard to tell just by the little rivulets of blood running down.
You know what? I'm gonna walk around and fill this thing with blood.
Okay, you start squeezing your leg out. That seems good. Yeah, I like this. This seems good.
So yeah, I start running around or dragging my leg across the room to make this pattern whole.
Sure. Okay, so then after the fifth action, Kree gets to the rock wall, right? And you hear Dane calling to you. He's like, "I've brought Kree. How do we get to you? How do we get to you?"
Shut up! I'm working.
Right. So let's see.
I just flat out yell that.
Yeah. Right. Totally.
And you can hear the pain in my voice.
Let's see. Let us see what Kree. If Kree has anything here. Oh, you know what he does have though. So, you hear this too, Hannibal. He gets up there, and you hear him go... you hear him whistle quite loudly. And we see Noct outside, kind of look around. And Noct is a burrowing drake.
Oh.
So we see Noct, burst through the wall that he's sitting by, because he couldn't fit before, but at the call of his master, he bursts through the wall and begins galloping towards the rock wall, but it's going to take him another round or two to get there. So,
Sorry, I'm on the 6th round, right?
This is the 6th round, yes.
Again, I'm walking around to fill this pattern.
Yeah, totally. You're maybe do you take out a water skin too and start to wash off all the dust on the floor? Because that's a real big problem. Is the dust on the floor is absorbing a lot of the sticky blood, right? So you're you're washing it off and then looking at the pattern on the floor, and it's spreading out. So how many actions do you want to take? You think it's going to take you maybe about 3 to make a full trip around the room?
doing it.
Okay, yeah. So you're like dragging your leg and like washing off. You're like desperately, and you're breathing heavily now, and you're almost dead, right? And you begin to see the pattern emerge. Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, you shit. I so wish I had tied to chaos for this. God, help me.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. A 16 is not bad. So it appears to be a series of runes that are connected that lead towards the middle, and they are in Orcish. Luckily, you can read all languages. You actually, it appears to be the story of this great orc warrior.
Tell me it. Tell
and
me
so
in detail now.
it's basically Darth Plagueis the Wise, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I would kill you.
So it talks about Gorkin, and Gorkin was a great orc war chief. You estimate, based on the like archaic way the language is written and the other things in the room, perhaps 2,000 years ago or so. And Gorkin was the leader of a great tribe of orcs that led through this land. It was actually one of the first tribes of orcs to be slaughtered by the old empire before it was the empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, remember, 2,000 years ago was basically before Sigmar became emperor. Just before Sigmar became emperor. But they still dominated this land here. And in his prime, he ruled a great and powerful horde that some say stretched all the way from the World's Edge Mountains to the oceans, to the New World. And it speaks how he cheated death one too many times, and that was his downfall. It talks about how he had gained all of these brutal injuries in his campaigns. Some myths even say that he lost like multiple arms, and through the power of his natural healing ability and magic that he possessed, and due to the benevolence of the great Gorkenmork, he was able to regrow his limbs and survive longer than any other orc of his stature. How true that is, who knows? But it seems fitting in this place that you are in. And so I want you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
That's Dane.
Yeah, not Dane's wisdom saving throw. Okay. So I think that, Hannibal, underneath your hardened exterior, you feel a sense of kinship, or maybe perhaps some deep-seated like respect for this orc and all of the great memories he was able to like come across, because the story also tells about how hideously ugly he was because of all of his injuries that he had taken, and how in orc culture that's a great blessing, right? And how even through all of that he was able to persevere, and all of his hideous scars and misshapen limbs and face did not deter him from being who he was. And so maybe like a single tear rolls down Hannibal's face at the thought of dying in here with this great orc skeleton. And so I would say that it takes you till about turn 8 to do that. And so at this point you're so beleaguered, like maybe you can't even walk anymore. And we see Noct get to the entrance where the rocks have collapsed in. And we see Kree like whistle for him to start digging, and he starts digging through the brush. You have one more action, Hannibal. What would you like to do?
Dimension door.
Okay. Where to?
to right on the other side of this, or to right on the other side.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Roll it.
Yeah, I mean, roll me the spell.
Oh. Where is it? Here we go. Level 3. Dimension door.
Okay. So, you and you pop onto the other side. And we see right as you do that, Kree and Noct break through the other side of the door and they pop into the room, and you're on the wrong side of it now, and so they're like looking in there for you. And
here, asshole.
Yeah, and you say that, you say here, asshole, and then you pass out from exhaustion.
And I feel a little bit happy knowing that Gorkin's war funds, Gorkin's treasure, will be used to fight another war.
Indeed. But I do want you to roll me one death saving throw before Kree can get over there and perform his magic. Because he has Cure Wounds, so he has to actually touch you. That's the only reason why I wanted that. Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. So, he runs over and he sees your leg, and he sees you bleeding out, but you pass your death saving throw, so you're fine. And he runs over there and he sets the wound as best he can, and then he seals it up so that you're not bleeding anymore. And your eyes kind of flutter open. Now, you're going to maintain that leg injury, by the way.
I know.
So,
I'm setting my speed down to 25 until I can get a greater restoration. And
until you can see Aelin, basically.
Yeah, so I basically get up, I use Kree's shoulder, and I say, alright, take me back in there.
Yeah, and I think he says, no, I will knock you out again. We will report back now.
Alright, sure, whatever.
Yeah, and he kind of like tosses you on Noct's back and brings you up, and Hannibal, you have survived your ordeal.
Yeah, and I pretty much funded the war effort hugely, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a hell of a lot, but it is a fair amount of money for a war chest.
And also,
certainly.
it might get told about how Hannibal literally filled an entire room with blood just to read something.
Yeah, possibly. The story of Gorkin. It's a very important piece of lore. So, I think that with that, we can fast forward to a point in the story. Hannibal returns back, informs the leadership of the treasure that he found. And although it didn't have much to do with the Magman creatures, apparently, it certainly did help the war effort in a certain way. And when he does, Kree immediately brings him to you, Aelin. And you see, like, Kree is a healer, but he does field healing, right? You see that the leg is clearly still broken. Like, Kree basically shoved the bone back in.
Hey, Aelin, how you doing?
Hannibal, what's happened?
Don't worry about it. So how's your day going?
She's like not even listening to him. She's just like has her hand on his leg, setting it.
Yeah, Kree is like Hannibal is saying all this while Kree is like carrying him right.
Yeah,
into,
and I'm
like,
already
yeah. So you have to essentially you realize that you have to burn greater restoration to heal the leg fully. So I assume that you do.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you begin, you set the leg and heal it properly, and Hannibal, you can erase that injury from yourself.
Yay.
That was
Aelin's here. Nothing matters.
I should probably hold on. Let me roll to see how much health you actually have.
Probably what?
There, you have 6 health, Hannibal.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm doing fucking fantastic. And I would like to point out that I reported it while my leg was still broken.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, you were conscious.
Yeah. There is orcs in there. Please don't disrespect the orc in the casket, but please make sure everything he has gets used for the war effort.
Yep, totally. And so
'Cause
they'll
I feel
begin
like-
looting that.
Because Hannibal feels that would be the best way to honor a war-loving orc.
Yeah, to fight a war with it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we're going to do the thing where...
Oh, and I'm keeping the axe.
That's totally fine. Gonna do that thing where everybody meets up again. Let me grab
Okay.
that stupid little thing.
Do we have a short rest in the meantime?
Yes, I would say that you can get a short rest.
God damn it.
How many hit dice do you have? Didn't you spend a bunch?
That is it. I'm out now.
Okay.
I have 0.
All right. So everybody meets back up in Delbers. The army makes it there slightly before probably Morella and Farron, you guys return. And so with that, I assume that stories are regaled. But the town of Delbers, let me talk about that because it's the first time we've seen it. The town of Delbers is about the same size as Middleweg is. But appears shockingly untouched by the recent events that have been going on in the area. In fact, the citizens probably seemed a bit surprised when you guys actually showed up. When there was this great host of warriors outside of their town. And so, maybe that's a little odd, they have no idea what's going on, but, they've heard the rumors and stuff, they just haven't dealt with it specifically.
See ya.
So you are now bringing all of this to them. But as is customary when you pass through a town, you conscript who you can, bring who you can with you, leave whoever wants to stay, or the old infirm, that kind of thing. Or too young, right? The ones who won't be useful, they get left, and everybody else basically gets conscripted. Everybody of fighting age, men, women, doesn't matter. Get conscripted into the army, or into whatever job they'd be capable for. And join kind of the ranks, and then supplies are then carted out or whatever. And probably by that time, Morella and Farron, you guys come riding with the knights up the roadway, and the shouts kind of go out through the encampment that Lady Fairheart has returned, etc., etc. And so you have a little contingent that meets you as you guys ride into camp. Where do you go? What do you do first?
What would be the first thing Marla does?
Hi.
I suppose she would seek, aka the important people, the council.
Yeah, ride to the council tent, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think that most of them you probably don't even get there before you see some members of the council that are, coming to meet you, right? They're coming to introduce you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first person you probably see is... Let's choose one of these council members at random... Lord Tenderfoot is probably the first one that you see. The halfling lord with a lot of large holdings in the Outdorf area.
Yeah.
He's probably the first that you see, and he comes up with his, kind of high-pitched voice. He says, "So, Lady Fairheart, how was it? How goes it in Middenstag?"
Fine.
That is good news. Do they have men and supplies for us? Are we to travel that way?
It is what I wish to speak about to the others.
Good, good. Let us retire to the council chambers. I'm sure that Lord Cahill will also want to hear this. And he kind of nods and gives you a smile and rides off, or he probably trots off in another direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you get over to the tent, and when you enter, you see that Cahill is standing with Lord Groundberg and Lady Schwinn. They're both standing in there, and kind of they're not engaged in conversation with each other, but they're kind of standing there waiting. Lord Groundberg is probably puffing on a pipe, like just kind of staring absentmindedly at the table. Lady Schwinn is probably like absentmindedly like playing with her hair a little bit, like tapping her foot. Cahill is probably like staring kind of off in the distance, like at like a random side of the tent. And you can see him like tapping his fingers on his on the table. And as you come in, they all turn to you. And Cahill's the one that speaks, and he says, "Ah, dearest Lady Fairheart, tell us, is Middenstag the path for us?"
It seems to be safe for now. They have taken fortifications. Something has been troubling them. Though it seems like they don't have enough information to find out what or where exactly it is.
He nods and he says, "Ah, well then, perhaps this is something that we can solve for them as we pass through. Surely they would not turn away a company, couple
I've
thousand
informed
strong."
them that I've informed them.
Very well.
Sir Bryce is a Knight's Griffin is leading the town, so it seems.
Yeah, you can see when you say that, Cahill kind of like gazes off in thinking, and he's like, "Ah, that name rings a bell, but I cannot say from where. Perhaps when I see the man, I will know."
Oh. And she kind of looks and she's like, "Where's the rest of the council?" Because she's wondering where the rest of them are.
Yeah,
I don't
probably,
think all of them are there.
Yeah, probably as you're saying that, right? Like, Lord Tenderfoot probably went to retrieve Lady Tollsbeck, which is the last member of the council, right? And they both probably walk in when that happens.
And she kind of looks back and then sees them, waits for them to like kind of like settle into the tent.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that before I mess this up, the White Wolf is dead.
Yeah, and so I think that when you say that, there are mixed responses from the group. I think Lord Tenderfoot kind of like looks almost in shock. Lady Schwinn and Lady Tollsbeck probably like have varying emotions, maybe like fear or anger or something like that, because Lady Tollsbeck, that would have been her direct lord, right? So like she probably is like a bit angry at you saying that. Lord Groundberg is kind of looks to be in disbelief almost as if you were jesting, right? And notably, Cahill is probably like looks almost solid, like stone almost. And he says he probably Lord Groundberg probably speaks up and he's like, "That cannot possibly be true. The White Wolf cannot die by some mere mortal's hands, as much as some would try to make it so." And Lady Tollsbeck says after that, she's like, "We had heard rumors before we left, though. It is possible. Any man can be overwhelmed." And
she kind of like Marilla.
Yeah, go ahead.
Marilla interrupts and she's like, "It was probably Anders."
Yeah, and I think that
no mere mortal man could just simply best him. It would take one of extreme skill.
Yeah, and I think that the group kind of like darkens, kind of collectively, right? And to break the silence, Cahill just slams on the that cat just scratched the shit out of me because I did that. Cahill slams his fist on the table and actually leaves like a dent, like a couple of splinters come up. And he says, Have no fear, my dearest counsel. We will avenge the White Wolf's death, or we will find him and have him join our side. Regardless, the plan remains the same. We head toward Middenheim. We take it back in the name of the Empire."
Yes, my thoughts is exactly. Anders will pay, whether he was responsible for this possible death. Regardless, he will pay.
Yeah, and I think Lord Tenderfoot says, "Hear, hear," and like holds up a glass, And everybody, like, holds up their glasses or raises a hand
Yeah.
in agreement.
Morella kind of, like, just
Nods.
nods, and she's like, what has happened? It seems I've heard some rumors that Middle Leg was attacked.
Yeah, and I think then probably begins the info dump of each other's stories, right? Like, you know, you talk about the harpies, and they talk about the magmen and the large chain dude, and you know, you probably see, like, hanging up inside of the tent, like along the back wall or whatever, where like the tapestries would go. You probably see the head of the chain devil, right? Like hanging from there as a trophy.
Yeah, at the very, like, after all the info dumping happens, she looks at Cahill and she's like, tell me, what of our losses?
I think he says, he kind of, like, he nods and he says, they were minimal as the situation desired.
How many?
As yours were. And he says, he probably got this number, so I actually don't know myself.
Alright, hey, is that great axe +1? Because I'm writing it in my weapons.
It is actually a +1 great axe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually not nearly as bad as something's not right there. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah. So he says about 60 souls. Some more injured that may not make it.
Chicano, like, nods. Do you know who? Do you have a list of names?
He says, that's still being compiled. The scribes would know more. If you wish to know them, speak to them.
She immediately leaves then.
Wow, great job.
As he says that.
Yeah. Let me roll something.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I rolled a d12 and I rolled a 9, but I have -1.
Hey.
So yeah, Hannibal has a great axe down.
Holy God.
You guys know
Even
what?
I would be better at wielding that great axe.
You know what? Fuck you. You're not getting it. This is
I
Grant.
think Aelin would be even better at wielding that.
Fuck you.
Okay, good.
Grant. This is Grant's gift to me.
So,
Grant's gift.
You stole it from his grave. How is that a
We
gift?
are kindred souls.
I mean, an orc would have done the same, so...
I now have a new guardian angel, and it's Grant.
Anyways.
After Aelin
So-
fixed your fucked up leg, but sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
Grant. That was a gift from Grant as well.
Anyways.
Okay.
As you leave and kind of the tent flap opens, Cahill's demeanor changes as you leave. It almost becomes harder, and his eyes kind of narrow a bit. You obviously don't see it because you're walking away. But
Here's a quick question then.
the group around him kind of feels like this aura of, like, I don't think hatred's the word, but disrespect, right? Like,
Yeah.
that in this moment, Cahill feels extremely disrespected. And the group feels that, and they will react accordingly as to their missions. In
Here's
life.
a quick question that I
Mhm.
want to ask.
Sure.
Would Farron have noticed this?
It's a good point. Farron, roll an insight check.
Beat a 6.
Yeah. Which I think is impossible for you to fail. Yeah,
That's
I think
possible.
that, like, Farron, you definitely notice. As Marilla turns around and, like, throws the tent flap open, because it probably takes you even unaware. You see Cahill's, like, kind of jaw kind of clench a little bit, and his eyes narrow, and, like, you feel that first initial wave of, like, you know, when somebody feels disrespected. So I assume you excuse yourself quite rapidly after that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Still a lowly commoner at this point.
So the two of you depart the tent and go catch up with, I assume, everybody else. You receive Hannibal's story, I assume, at some point.
And you see that Hannibal is now wielding a amazingly badass great axe.
Yeah. Hannibal's got like this double-headed great axe on his back that's like dragging on the ground almost.
This is mine now.
Yeah, Morello would actually be going towards the scribes.
So yeah, you go to the scribes and they've got most of the names. A couple are unidentified, right? Because nobody knows who they were. They were probably just people that showed up that never really gave a name, or because it's not like we have photo recognition, right? It's not like they have IDs on them.
Yeah.
Dog tags don't exist yet, yo.
Right, exactly. So there are a lot of names that are unknown, and the bodies are probably been burned already. So like nobody would really be able to identify them.
So she asked for the list that has been compiled, at least for a copy of it.
Yeah, and it'll take them like a good rest of like a day to do that, but they'll have it delivered to you.
Okay. And then she probably goes and sees the others.
Okay, cool.
And then you see my amazing great axe.
Morello would probably make the comment of, it's a bit large.
Fuck yeah, it is. Wielded by Gronk.
Could I make a history roll to see whether I know that name? Especially because of one of the languages I speak.
Well, if he says the full name,
I'll say the full name, sure.
Grokken.
Grokken.
Grokken, yeah. Yeah, roll a history check. Sure.
Okay.
Might be something you know based on your nope.
Fuck you don't.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure. Again, it's probably not something that cared about Talabheim. In fact, who knows when the crater for Talabheim was even formed, right? Like,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't even there yet.
Okay. And she probably just like sums up the axe and then shrugs, and she's like, "You're not much of a warrior, Hannibal."
Nope, but it's mine.
Fair enough. Tell me, where are the others?
I don't fucking know. Arkady is making the communications thing.
Mm-hmm.
Aelin has been taking care of the villagemen. Cree helped me out. I broke my leg. I nearly died.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's funny. It's funny that you took the only person that would have saved you in that situation.
The only what?
It's funny that you took the only person that would have saved you in that situation, or that could have saved you in that situation.
Yeah. So she says sorry. I go, it's fine. It happens all the time. Yeah, I killed the chain demon, and then I found orcish amazing treasure trove. So yeah, par for the course so far.
And she nods, and she's like, continued as I'm debating whether she would look for Aelin, Petrov, or Cree. Probably Petrov, if anything.
Okay. I mean, Petrov is always about.
Yeah.
Except for when he's not, but,
Yeah. And she'll probably just simply tell him that, by the way, I'm back. So, info dump everything that's happened. Type of thing.
It is good to see you, my lady. I am glad that you did not die to these harpies.
Liam, did you come back?
I'm just glad he chose the one accent I can actually do really well.
Yeah. She kind of like...
Unlike Will.
Looks at Farron. Yeah. She looks at Farron and then looks back, and she's like, well, I believe me and Farron were unscathed. No.
This is good. I would hate to have to replace you.
And she looks at like Farron, and she's like, yeah, it would be a shame if we lost Farron.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously who he was talking about.
Yeah. And she's like, if you excuse me, I do think I am in need of a bath.
Oh, this hoity-toity rich person needs a fucking bath.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
a normal person would take a bath after a bloody battle.
Fuck that prestidigitation this.
it's true. That's basically the same thing, though.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I think that you head off to, put yourself right, and Farron does the same. And I think the final scene that we have is Aelin. Your sleeves have probably been rolled up, and your hands and face are dirty, and you've been working hard all day, and you get back, and you feel a warmth in your pouch, and it is your statue. And you kind of pull it out and connect with it, right? And it gives you a message. It says, "Dove, I am distracted tonight. I have to say that your companion has laid angst upon me. Tomorrow we will catch up. Tonight I must rest."
Of course, whatever you need.
And no sooner has that happened than there's a servant that appears at the entrance of the tent, and Daniela goes to the opening of the tent and pokes her head out, and you hear a conversation, and then she comes in with there's a single rose in her hand, and she kind of just tosses it to you. And she's like, "It's for you." And she goes back and lays on her cot as it kind of falls in your lap.
Yeah, Aelin does that cartoon thing of scrambling to catch it before it hits the ground,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just takes it and she lays back and just lays it next to her, so her head on the pillow.
Yeah. Totally. And we see the servant who's walking away from the tent. He gazes back a little bit, and he just shakes his head once or twice. And we see there's a shimmer across his face, and his features change. And he pulls his hood up and walks off into the night. And that's it.
Fuck you, John! Get back here!
Fantastic. So, that's maximum damage too. Congratulations.
John's dead.
Yeah, true. He's only got 11 health. So, let's talk inspiration.
Yeah.
indeed.
Who do you guys think deserves inspiration?
I'll be honest. I think Hannibal for taking the risk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Don't get me wrong, Hannibal. I would have killed your ass in that tunnel.
No, I was completely expecting it.
I think I vote Hannibal too, also just because of the cool lore we got out of it.
Yeah.
By happenstance, Hannibal
Yeah.
caused cool lore,
That's my vote.
therefore gains inspiration. I think it's valid. I think it's good. Hannibal, you get inspiration.
Yay, I knew it. I also got a kick-ass great axe.
Which you will never use.
I was just gonna say, which you will never hit with.
don't.
So good job.
Hold on. You don't fucking know me.
You guys shouldn't have said that because now you know what he's going to do every fight, right?
I'm gonna fucking try it.
Right. Instead
I
of being
hope
useful,
so.
he's going to try and hit things with his great axe now. So
Fuck you!
that's
Yep. That seems about right. Yep.
Fuck off.
That is on all of you because he did that. Just FYI.
I accept this burden of responsibility.
Okay, good. My vote is for Morella because of the cool idea to write letters to all of the knights' families and stuff. I thought that was a really cool character development thing that she was doing. So I'm going to give my inspiration to Morella.
Okay.
Excellent.
Man, it feels good not having Petrov here because he always takes all the inspirations.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Aelin always takes all the inspirations.
I've been an inspiration for like 5 sessions. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, fucking do better.
It's always
Well,
the
ever
excuse.
since I stopped getting inspiration just because of how adorable I am, I just like no longer get it. So it's fine.
Oh, by the way, hold on. Wait, did
Because
you
I'm
notice?
used to it.
Guys, did you notice how I rolled on the 18? I rolled 0 damage.
Yep,
Yep.
I noticed. That minus strength, though. Except you know that +1 adds +1 to attack and damage, right?
Oh shit, it does. So I do get always +1.
Mm-hmm. You're always going to do at least 1 damage.
Oh, and also I forgot to add the +1 to all of it. So technically,
Technically, you rolled a 4 instead of a 3 on that first one.
yeah, I did. So suck it, guys.
Okay, so experience doesn't really matter. But
Because you know we're not gonna level.
It doesn't matter.
Because
Yeah,
you know
wait.
we're not gonna level up.
Hold
yeah,
up.
I don't plan on leveling you guys before the end of this arc. But the closer we get is fine.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Also, you guys like how much experience is the next level? I don't even know. It's
Like
like
80.
85,000.
it's like an astronomical number. Or
85,000.
something like that. 85. Yeah, but I think everybody deserves 1,500 experience for this round. It wasn't particularly anything like crazy that happened, but everybody can get 85,000.
I'm at 70,000.
Congratulations. Here's Aelin is quite high.
I'm alright then.
75, 8.
Anyone have any closing words? Any final thoughts?
Yes, Gronk was an interesting man. He lived his life like everybody else.
I like how you keep calling him Gronk, even though that's actually not his name.
What's his name?
Grokken.
Grokken.
Yeah.
It's even funnier because, well, Gronk is a really famous football player for the Patriots,
I think that might be.
which is really funny to me because it's like the literal only football player I know, and you just keep saying that.
And he's like, he's one of the dumbest individuals on earth too. And it's
oh my
really
god,
funny.
he's such a doofus.
He's
and
like,
I love it.
yeah, he's like the dumb idiot that you just can't help but love.
Right,
Isn't-
exactly.
Isn't he the dude that's like a Gronk Nation?
Yeah, Gronkowski is his full name. He plays for the
Yeah.
Patriots.
So-
he's a tight end.
So every
Yeah,
time
no,
that Jack's Gronk, I keep thinking of Krunk.
Yeah,
from
from
fucking
yeah.
Emperor's New Groove.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Which again is also the same character.
literally it's probably modeled after him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That basically is
Patrick
the inspiration
Warburton,
for
too
his
good.
life.
So yeah,
100%.
Oh, you mean the
Say
potion? The potion for Cusco. The potion is supposed to kill Cusco.
Oh shit!
The potion
I forgot.
specifically designed to kill Cusco. That potion.
Oh my god, now I just need to watch that movie.
I want to watch it.
Dude.
Oh god, I just
What is
remembered.
that
I have a
Uh,
love potion. Aelin,
yep.
watch out for that.
Gross.
I'm
The
gonna
first
make you
time I got
fall in
drunk
love with
on whiskey-
Daniela.
the first time I got drunk on whiskey, I watched that movie after like 10 years of not watching it. Gotta tell you, one of the funniest damn movies.
I don't
to
even
watch.
need to be
That
drunk.
movie's
It's
yeah, I was
literally-
gonna say
yeah.
that movie's hilarious. Not being drunk, man.
That
Yeah.
movie and Hades are my favorite Disney movies of all time.
Man, I
Or
really need.
why did I say
Hercules.
Hades? I meant Hercules.
Yeah.
But
Only
really-
because of Hades,
But
though.
really, you watch it
Hold
for
on.
Hades.
I watch it for
Hades
James
was the-
Wood Hades. Okay, let's be honest.
But yeah,
Just
I have
rename
a
it.
love potion that I really need to use. So
No, you don't.
there's going to be some weird pairings about to happen.
Jackson, you fall in love with the act. End of story.
No,
Lol.
I'm gonna laugh when
I kill myself with that.
Well, no.
axe.
I'm gonna laugh when you accidentally like give it to John. Like you like, or he accidentally like drinks it, and then you're the first thing he sees.
It's
Oh
scary.
God, and I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength to fight him off. Thank God I got the axe now.
Correct. Cool. I'm gonna close out. Hope you guys had fun. It's good to be
Yeah.
back.
Yep. It's good to be
Yay.
back.
Good to be back.
And Will, thank you for coming back at least.
Yeah, Will, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Will,
check.
if you could do me a favor and set your alarm so you stop being late to games, that would be great.
Yes, I'll try to.
Please.
Thanks.
And thank you.
Yes.
Meh.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, I was about to kill you. No joke.
He actually said that. He actually said he was about to kill you. Anyway, I'm gonna go. See you guys later. If you're here in a few minutes, cool. If not,
Bye,
cool.
Shrek.
Bye. Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
Shrek.
Bye.
Bye.